No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Today we're playing the classic deck featuring cards like Culling the Weak and Shield Sphere, but we're updating it with new cards like Grief and Beseech the Mirror. Let's go check it out. Before we begin, credit for today's deck list goes to Quentin Coleman, who goes by Ella1 on Magic Online. Quentin posted the 60 card main deck to the Storm Discord, and I saw it and I knew that I had to play it. This deck is just so spicy. If you're familiar with the Spanish Inquisition archetype going all the way back to the early days, back in 2004, the deck used to play things like Cruel Bargain, Infernal Contract to draw 4 cards. Well, we've received some upgrades recently. You get to just play Beseech the Mirror and win the game instead. Oh no. And then you have Infernal Tutor to find your Beseech the Mirror, which just makes sense. But the real identity of this deck is Culling the Weak alongside 0 mana creatures like the Shield Sphere or Phyrexian Walker. These cards also benefit from being an artifact with a Mox Opal, so you have better acceleration in your deck. So the ideal situation is that you get to play like a turn 1 swamp, and then you evoke Grief, and you can sack the triggers, though that way you discard a card and then sacrifice Grief. But after you've discarded a card, you cast Culling the Weak, making 4 black mana, and then you play a Beseech the Mirror to go get a Gaia's Will. You eventually loop your graveyard, and then you cast a Tendrils of Agony. We also have Empty the Warrens and Song of Creation today as additional Beseech the Mirror targets. I came up with a sideboard myself of Leyline of Sanctity, Leyline of Anticipation to win in response to your opponent's hate permanents, Pact of Negation to protect your combo, and then Dismember to kill things like Archon of Emeria. That is the sideboard. That's what we're playing today. Hopefully you enjoy this classic and ultra spicy take on Spanish Inquisition. I remember the deck name. It took me a second. No one forgets the Spanish Inquisition. All right. Without any further ado, I will see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Definitely not our first round opponent. We're on the draw, and we've opened up a hand that doesn't really win that quickly. Like, we're lucky if this is a turn 2 win. So we'll mulligan it and look for a faster hand. So here we do have the turn 1 combo. I will keep this, and we'll bottom a second copy of Grief. Yeah, this is just a turn 1 with backup. Holy moly. Actually, I think I'm going to bottom the second copy of Culling the Weak because I'm going to exile that card to the Grief, and I don't want to tip my opponent off that they should counterspell Grief. I have no idea what our opponent's playing, but this hand is super good. They play turn 1 Bayou, Green Sun Zenith. Fun fact, my shortest video ever on the channel is 26 minutes. This deck might be fast enough to break that record. Ooh, and I hit the land. Here we go. All right, we're going to evoke Grief, and we're going to put the sacrifice trigger on the bottom. We will now discard a card from their hand. You have a bunch of cards I don't care about. We'll take the Allosaurus Shepherd. And now with the sacrifice trigger on the stack, we will cast Culling the Weak, sacrificing the Grief. And now we would sacrifice the Grief if we had one. All right. So now we just get to do a pretty deterministic loop here. We'll play out Lion's Eye Diamond and then Lotus Petal. I'm going to cast Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing the Lotus Petal. In response, we'll add 3 black. Beseech the Mirror. We will grab the Gaia's Will. We'll play Gaia's Will. Play Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal. And then just because we can, we'll play Grief from the graveyard. In response to the trigger, because I can, I will cast Culling the Weak, sacrificing the Grief. We'll take Legolas's Quick Reflexes, and then we will cast Beseech the Mirror, bargaining away the Lotus Petal. Turn 1 with backup in game 1. I'm glad we got to do that. That was so sweet. All right, game number 2 coming right up. Okay, so the plan on the draw is to just be faster. So when we're on the draw, we're always going to board in Leyline of Anticipation. So let's do that. And let's take out, you take out the lands? You could also take out Grief on the draw. I'm not sure, but I feel like Grief is a part of your combo, so maybe we don't want to do that. Let's try boarding out some lands. You could board in Dismember for Collector Oof as well, but I feel like this is just a matchup where you want to be fast. Let's try this. Okay, so we have a turn 1 Empty the Warrens. That might be good enough. I'm down to keep this. No Leyline, but it's still pretty good. Wooded Foothills, okay. Another Agadeem's Awakening. Ouch. Dark Ritual. I'm going to try to bait our opponent. I want to see if they'll Force of Vigor a couple artifact creatures. Okay. And now we'll play the Lotus Petal. Please Force of Vigor here. No such luck. Okay, and now 10 goblins. There we go. They're likely going to go grab a Dryad Arbor here. And they do. Okay, so I missed it, but our opponent played Land Collector Roof after, a few minutes of tanking. So, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see it happen in real time, but we're just going to continue to attack. Alright, so they'll block 1 and take 9. Yeah, that's right. I'm attacking with my Phyrexian Walker. You can't stop me. I know what I'm doing. Alright, so they're going to take 9 plus 0, and now they're at 9 life. They play a Beseech who endures, and no attacks. Beseech the Mirror, so a Dark Ritual will be very good for us here. This time I'm not going to attack with the Phyrexian Walker. I did it last time for memes, but how we could potentially lose this game is if our opponent plays a Gaia's Cradle, and then has a Natural Order. So this is 9 points of toughness to stop me from losing like that. They flash in an Endurance, so they're going to block 2, and then take 7, going to 2. And I can think of 8 cards off the top of the deck that would win the game, and those would be Dark Ritual and Culling the Weak. Our opponent with 5 cards in hand, they play a Bayou for turn. 4 mana. They have the Natural Order. Atraxa, okay. So it looks like I actually do need to draw into a Dark Ritual or Culling the Weak here. They have Thoughtseize. So if I don't draw it right now, I think we lose. Cabal Ritual would not be good enough. Is turn 1 10 goblins too slow? They choose Gaia's Cradle, Natural Order, Endurance, so they don't pick up the Thoughtseize. Interesting. Draw. Mox Opal, why would you do this to me? Okay, I don't think we're supposed to attack. We will sadly pass the turn. Glimpse in Nature, so they're on Combo Elves. They play a Heritage Druid. Gaia's Cradle. Oh, why would they take the Thoughtseize when they were at 2 life? It just dawned on me. Yeah, you definitely don't want to take Thoughtseize when you're at 2 life. They play an Endurance. Sure. And now they'll cast a Natural Order, getting a Critterhoof Behemoth. Can I live through this? Well, I think we need to get the Collector Roof off the table, so let's do that. Okay, and then I can throw this in front of there. So if I block like this, this would put me to 1. And their Collector Oof would die. Right? No, this is exact lethal, actually. Wow. Yep. Okay. Oh, I forgot about the Shield Sphere counter, too, so it's not exact lethal. I'll go to -1. Okay, next game. I need a 2-0 more opponents if I want to be fast this league. I thought that maybe we could speedrun this, but it's looking like there's a chance that I'm wrong. Alright, let's try this again. Game 3 on the play. Yeah, this is a turn 1. Keep. I like the turn 1s. We'll play a Phyrexian Walker. And then another copy of Phyrexian Walker. And then Mox Opal. We'll tap the Mox Opal for black. And cast Dark Ritual. Alright, so Storm is currently 4. If I play Infernal Tutor, that would be Storm 5. And then we could grab another Culling the Weak, which would be 6, 7. Beseech the Mirror would be 8. And I'd have no permanents. So I'm trying to think of a way that I could potentially beat a like an Endurance here or a Surgical. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll sacrifice the Phyrexian Walker. And I'm going to go grab Song of Creation. Our opponent taking a long pause here. I'm going to cast Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Mox Opal, and Song of Creation is actually really awkward with Infernal Tutor. I didn't think about that. Oh, okay. I mean, 12 goblin or 14 goblins on the play probably wins. And then I could go grab like a Grief and hope that I draw a black card next turn. Alright, so actually let's Beseech the Mirror again. Sacrificing the Phyrexian Walker. Ooh, okay. What? I guess I would lose to a Endurance if I took that line, actually. If I got Cabal Ritual, it would have Threshold, and then I could Infernal Tutor for Tendrils for lethal, but I lose to an Endurance. Yeah, I think that's just a mistake. Let's grab Empty the Warrens. I'll play Empty the Warrens. Storm 8, 16 goblins. And then after this empty resolves, I'll cast Infernal Tutor. We'll go grab a Grief. Pass the turn. Elves versus Goblins. Classic battle. Our opponent plays a Once Upon a Time Finding a Gaia's Cradle. They play Windswept Heath for a Bayou. Green Sun Zenith for 0, so it grabs a Dryad Arbor. We have a lot of black cards in our deck. I'd like to draw one right now. That's a black card, so let's attack. I'm guessing they're not going to block. They'll just take 16. And then we will cast a Grief, exiling the Tendrils of Agony. I guess we take Quirion Ranger. Pass the turn. Our opponent did not expect the Spanish Inquisition. We are 1-0 in this Legacy League. I'll see you in the second match. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2, we are on the play. This hand is not going to work. Let's send it back. Okay, so this is just a turn 2 win. I suppose we can keep this. I'm trying to think what could stop me here, and it's actually Wasteland. So I'm going to choose to play around Wasteland and keep an extra land in my hand. Play the Agademes and pass the turn. Our opponent plays a Savannah into Elvish Reclaimer. We drew another Agademes, okay. So we've played the Vault of Whispers, we'll play a Lion's Eye Diamond, Lion's Eye Diamond. And now I'm going to hold priority on Infernal Tutor, and we'll add a bunch of black mana to our mana pool. There we go. Storm is currently 3. I will grab a Beseech the Mirror, and then we'll cast the Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing our Vault of Whispers. And we'll go grab Gaia's Will. Cast the Gaia's Will, which is Storm 5. It resolves. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm is 7. Let's Infernal Tutor. Storm 8. We'll go grab another copy of Lion's Eye Diamond. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm 9. And now I can sacrifice 2 of these. And we'll cast Beseech the Mirror with Bargain. Sacrificing the Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm 10. And I'll grab a Tendrils of Agony. This is how we do. Sweet. Love it. Alright, so we're facing some sort of Depths deck, if I had to guess. Once again, bringing in the ley lines. Let's board out some lands. Oops, all memes. Love it. In hindsight, I think I was supposed to board in the Leyline of Sanctities round 1. They stop Endurance and Thoughtseize, and that's probably just good enough. I could board them here as well, but I don't know. I'm going to try this first. We have Grief and a ton of mana, no payoff. We only have 8 real action spells in our deck. I think I'm supposed to just mulligan this. Nope. Going to 5. We'll get rid of the empty, get rid of the land, and I'll play the Leyline. Thespian Stage, Mox Diamond. They discard the Yavimaya, and they play a Sylvan Library. Okay, I'd like to draw 0 here. We did. We'll play our land untapped, and then we're going to pass the turn. So one weird thing about this deck, or this situation, is Force of Vigor can only be played on your opponent's turn. So right now we're going to combo off, and we don't have to worry about Force of Vigor. We're going to Culling the Weak, sacrificing Shield Sphere. Oh no! I have to sacrifice the Leyline. Whoops. I messed up. I forgot about the double sacrifice. I might have just cost myself here. Oh no. I was getting too cute about winning on my opponent's turn. Look what I've done to myself. Why would I do this? How could I possibly lose this game? I was way too excited, and now I'm going to get punished. Goodbye, land. It was nice knowing you. And now I can just taste that Force of Vigor that's about to blow me out of the water. Alright. That's a land. We will play Lotus Petal. Triggers the Song of Creation. Orcish Bowmasters. We have no creature removal in this deck. So we have to win before the Bowmasters would kill me. Challenge accepted. There's no Veil of Summer. We'll play a Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Mox Opal. I need to find a Beseech the Mirror, because then I could sacrifice the Song of Creation. We'll cast the Dark Ritual. No Beseech the Mirror yet. Let's play a Vault of Whispers. Play a Lotus Petal. Uh-oh. If I don't find this Beseech with like the next draw, I think we might lose. I will play a Mox Opal. Not looking good for the home team here. Yeah, all I had to do was not get cute, and I probably would have won this game. Hold on, could I win? Oh, okay, I have an idea. I have an idea. Holy moly, I can't believe this is a real thing that's happening. We're going to win. I need to turn off the response to Orcish Bowmasters. We're going to win with Bowmaster triggers on the stack. All right, so I'm about to go to 2 life, okay? So these will resolve, and then there won't be another one that resolves for the rest of this game. All right, so I now have Threshold. Let's cast a... Oh no, my win condition isn't an instant. So they'll eventually have to resolve. Okay. So that's a bummer. Our win conditions are all sorceries. Oh no! The Leyline! What am I talking about? Feel free to ignore me and never listen to anything I say ever again. Although I forgot about the Bowmaster triggers here. So... how do I make mana? Because every spell I cast... yeah, I don't know if I can do this. Because I need to have more mana in my mana pool. So, how do I do this? So I think I'm supposed to cast a Phyrexian Walker. And then let's add 3 black. Because this gives me the mana to Beseech or Tendrils. So now we'll draw. And now these triggers happen. And I just need to keep on casting spells until I hit a Tendrils of Agony. Or a Beseech. Actually, Beseech doesn't work. So I just have to play spells until I hit the Tendrils. No, okay. It needs to be Beseech because I have to sacrifice the song. Or I can actually stack Tendrils before the song trigger so I don't draw the cards. Okay, I think we have this. Okay, and now I'm going to cast the Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Song of Creation. And we'll grab Tendrils of Agony. This was wild. Holy moly. I love this. I need a screenshot. This is going in my folder. Oh, I love this. This was one of the coolest ones I've ever had. Wow. 2-0 with the Spanish Inquisition. I love this deck so much. There's still 3 matches left to go. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Alright, we are on the play. We have a hand that doesn't really function. And I've played our opponent recently, and I want to say that they're on initiative, so I don't think we're allowed to keep this. This is turn 1 Grief, but a very slow hand. I think we're supposed to go to 5. Okay, I'm going to go to 5. This hand is not great. I'm going to go to 4. I know it's risky. Okay, so we'll bottom Okay. Play the swamp, pass the turn. I need to draw like a shield sphere here. Marsh Flats. Ether Vial. So maybe Death and Taxes. Draw. That doesn't do it. Should I even show them the land? I don't think so. I'm just going to pass. Vial goes up to 1. They play a Caracas. So this is Death and Taxes. They play another Vial. So they don't have a Thalia. Interesting. Come on, deck. Pretty please. Nope. Play a land and pass. That's a Mother of Ruins. And land number 3. They have 3 cards remaining in their hand. They're going to attack for 1. Sure. They're just passing. Dark Ritual. I could try to win here. We'll play a Dark Ritual. I believe I actually have lethal, like with not with Gaia's Will. So I will cast Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing Mox Opal. Let's grab another copy of Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice a Vault of Whispers. I'll Beseech the Mirror again. Storm is 5. Sacrifice Vault of Whispers. Well, Gaia's Will, which is Storm 6. Play the Dark Ritual. Storm is 7. Mox Opal would be 8. And now I will cast Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing Mox Opal. Storm is 9. So I could Tendrils of Agony, and I would lose if they used Vial plus Swords to Plowshares on a random creature. I could also just empty the Warrens for 20. I think the Empty the Warrens is just the safer line. Like, why leave myself possibly dead here to Swords to Plowshares? Not bad for a mulligan to 4. They have Swords to Plowshares, okay. Stoneforge Mystic. They grab a Batter Skull. Okay, looks like we might have a thing here. I do have the Culling the Weak, so I could sacrifice whatever thing they try to block and stop them from gaining life. Draw a Dark Ritual. I will swing out. They activate the Vial. Another Stoneforge Mystic, okay. Grabs Lion Sash. They're going to activate the Vial. They might actually stabilize here. I mean, my Swords to Plowshares read was good, but they might be able to stabilize. I'm not quite sure. We're going to sacrifice the Goblin that the Batter Skull is blocking. Okay. Now they're going to take 15. They're at 4 life. I think they might have stabilized here. I didn't think there was any way they could have beat 20 Goblins. And here we are. So they attack with the Germ Token. And they'll gain 4 up to 8. I guess maybe I could win if I draw another copy of Culling the Weak. Yeah, I think they've stabilized. Wow. We'll swing. They find Samwise. Yeah, I mean, I've already lost. We can go to the next game. So maybe it looks like the way it played out, Tendrils actually would have been lethal. But my read on Swords was right. I guess my read on them having a creature with 2 power was wrong. Unfortunate. I am going to resubmit, at least for this game. It's funny, like, I also had a Song of Creation line that game, but I was worried about their Vial on 2 being Orcish Bowmasters. And I was like, well, I don't have ley lines this time to save me. I don't know. I feel like I found the only line that didn't win that game. So this is a turn 2 win. I think I'm going to keep this. We'll play the Agadeem. Pass. Basic Plains. Cabal Ritual number 4. Cast Cabal Ritual. Let's cast another copy of Cabal Ritual. And another copy of Cabal Ritual. And what about another copy of Cabal Ritual? Play Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. And now I will play Infernal Tutor. Pass priority because I'm already Hellbent. We'll grab Beseech the Mirror. And let's cast Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing this Vault of Whispers. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice Lion's Eye Diamond. And I'm going to empty the Warrens again because it doesn't use the graveyard. Alright, 18 Goblins. This will be enough. I promise you, and if it's not, don't ever watch my channel again because I don't think I could bear to have you so. 18 Goblins. Beat. Leyline of Anticipation. Board out the basic swamps. Yeah, let's do this. So, we have 2 pieces of mana but no rituals. Unfortunately, I think we have to mulligan this. This hand is very, very good. We will keep bottom the Song of Creation. Okay, let's hope for turn 1 Plains Pass. Baracus. Our deck cannot beat a Deafening Silence. It is literally impossible. Unfortunate. Trying to think, like, there's no way for us to beat this. Brief attacks? Like, that's not reasonable. Yeah, okay. We have lost. We are now 2-1? Yeah, we're 2-1. Alright, 2 matches left to go. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Alright, match number 4, we're on the draw. No action, we have to send this one back. Beseech the Mirror. So, Culling the Weak would be the best draw here. I kind of feel like I should send this one. This is better. Keep. Put the Agademes on the bottom and a Walker? Let's try this. No clue what our opponent is playing. Misty Rainforest. Bayou. Okay. Ignoble Hierarch. We have another Elves fan, or Artisan Elves, whatever you'd like to call it. Vault of Whispers. Okay, so I can put Song of Creation on the table and then pass. That's probably the best move I have here. That allows me to potentially beat a turn 2 Collector Oof. Dark Ritual. And then Beseech the Mirror will sacrifice the Mox Opal. So, alternatively, I could empty the Warrens for 14 on the draw, but I feel like that's probably going to get raised. And most of our deck wins if we draw a card next turn with Song of Creation. So I'm going to choose to believe that we draw a card that wins with Song of Creation instead. Player Swamp. Pass the turn. It looks like our opponent might have an Orcish Bowmasters, because they're just passing here. They've played a land, and it looks like they might actually just be going to get Collector Roof. Okay. They tanked on it for a couple minutes on whether or not this was the play. And they do get it, so 0 off the top is still good for us. And Collector Oof actually might have been insane here, because I cannot cast the Cabal Ritual. Unfortunate. They play another Hierarch. Fiend Artisan. Okay. They can attack for 4. I shouldn't block, because I do have Culling the Weak in my deck. We'll take a draw. Sheesh. I'm just hitting all duds. Wow. Okay. Unfortunate. I'm just dead to a natural order here. And there it is. I feel like this game got away from me. Okay, so we have to try to win both post-board games now. I'm going to bring in the Ley Lines, just because they're an Endurance Thoughtseize deck like I discussed in match number 2. The question is, what do you board out? And I think it's actually Cabal Ritual. I was thinking about this in between games, because you have 8 rituals in your deck already, and like, I mean, in theory you could board out Grief, but then you're kind of low on sacrifice outlets. But maybe boarding out Grief is okay. Or you do like a split with like 2 Cabal Ritual. I might actually like that. Let's try this. On the play for game number 2. This hand is so slow. I don't think I'm allowed to keep this. This hand doesn't really play Magic. I'm going to go to 5. This hand doesn't have a tutor. I think you're supposed to keep this and just sit tight. Play Lotus Petal and pass the turn. I think I have to just hope to draw Beseech the Mirror off the top. Turn 1 Bayou. Into Thoughtseize. Yep. Culling the Weak is obviously discarded here. Was the best card in our hand. Play the Vault of Whispers. Pass the turn. Our opponent just passes. We draw an Opal. I guess I'll play it. Send it back. I'm guessing here that they have an Orcish Bowmasters because they didn't do anything on their own turn. Surprise, surprise. Fairly telegraphed. Land number 3. So if they have a Green Sun Zenith, that's going to be the match. And they do. Okay, that's kind of a bummer. We're now 2-2. And if you want to sit here and watch me play out these sort of games, I'm sorry. I just value my time. It's not because I'm trying to do this for a speed run. It's just like there's no point in sitting here losing for the next 10 minutes or whatever it is. So I'm going to go to the next one. Hopefully we finish this with a positive record. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. Alright, the final match, we're on the draw, and this hand is unkeepable. Send it back. I guess we'll keep this. I don't love it, but I think it's fine enough. We'll bottom the second copy of Infernal Tutor. They play a Badlands, Faithless Looting, so Reanimator. They discard Archon of Cruelty and a Gristlebrand. And the graveyard order was stacked, so they might be a version playing Shallow Grave. Magic Online has a sort of bug where it tells you or it shows you if the opponent is playing Shallow Grave because graveyard order suddenly matters. They have 4 cards in hand. I believe we're supposed to play the Grief here, exiling Infernal Tutor, and hopefully take their reanimation spell. Too bad this Cabal Ritual isn't either of our other rituals here. And they do have Shallow Grave. I called it. Guess we take the Shallow Grave. Hope that they don't draw another discard spell off the reanimate draws. Cabal Ritual looking a little bit embarrassing here. They play the Polluted Delta. They reanimate Gristlebrand, so now they can draw 7. We're hoping out of those 7 cards, there's no discard spells. That's the dream here. They have Unmask, exiling Thoughtseize, so they drew multiple discard spells. And I believe that we just lost. They Thoughtseize away my Cabal Ritual. Okay, sure. Culling the Weak hurts my heart a little bit. The fact that it's too late. Our opponent attacks for 7. I have no blocks. They cast a Dark Ritual and flashback a Faithless Looting. They discard an Atraxa and Entomb. Animate Dead. Picks up the Atraxa. No free discard spell there. Okay, well if they don't already have one in hand, and I draw Beseech the Mirror, we could win. Our opponent plays a Lotus Petal. Oh, they can reanimate the Archon of Cruelty going to 1. Or just the Grief, that works too. Okay, let's go to the next game. We've wasted enough time here. Leyline of Sanctity can come in. And this time I'm going to board out for Grief. I don't think Grief is particularly good in this matchup. Game number 2, we're on the play. This is turn 1, 9 Goblins. I don't think that's fast enough. Okay. This is unfortunately not good enough either. We're going to 5. This is good enough, so we'll keep with the Phyrexian... No, we need the Phyrexian Walker. Infernal Tutor. Is it actually Lion's Eye Diamond? I think it is. This is a turn 1 without Lion's Eye Diamond, I think. We'll play the Vault of Whispers, play the Phyrexian Walker, play the Mox Opal, sacrifice the Phyrexian Walker, and now we'll Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Mox Opal. And you want to leave the Vault of Whispers in play, because it's going to be used for Metalcraft. We'll grab the Guy's Will, play Guy's Will, replay the Opal, replay Phyrexian Walker, and now we will Culling the Weak, sacrificing the Walker. And now you could sacrifice your artifact land if you so choose. So now we'll Beseech the Mirror again, sacrifice the Vault of Whispers, and Tendrils of Agony. Not bad for a 5-card hand. Sweet. 1 game left. Can we get the positive record? I certainly hope so. Alright, I don't think Empty's that great here, so I'm going to board in 1 Leyline. Actually, no. We're going to be a Leyline deck. Let's do 8 Leylines. I think it's a little more fun this way. Okay, let's go. This is a turn 1, assuming our opponent doesn't discard us. I'm not really supposed to ship a turn 1, right? Okay, I have 8 Leylines in my deck. I couldn't draw either of them. Our opponent mulliganed and then played a Bloodstained Mire for Badlands. Lotus Petal. For a Dothy Voidwalker, that's fine. I don't care about that. Oh, so you're dead? That's what you're telling me here? You just chose to lose the game instead? Ooh, and we would have ripped the Beseech, even if they did have a discard spell. Tell me how lucky I am. Alright, so let's play an Infernal Tutor. We'll grab another copy of Dark Ritual. We'll play that Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Phyrexian Walker. And then we'll play a Lion's Eye Diamonds from 7. Cast Beseech the Mirror. We'll sacrifice our Vault of Whispers. Let's grab another Beseech the Mirror. When you play decks with a heavy artifact count, this is one of the best aspects of it, is that chaining Beseech the Mirror is just so free. It's a great way of naturally building up a storm count, is what I'm trying to say here. And then the final Beseech, sacrifice, storm is 11, and now we grab the Tendrils of Agony. We didn't face a single blue deck this league, which is kind of wild. Boom! I've never been so happy with a 3-2 in my life. Alright, the Spanish Inquisition with a positive record. I love that. Alright, so what did I think of the deck list? 1, Quentin, you came up with a super cool concept and I love it. 2, I don't think the deck has enough action spells in it. That's my personal opinion here. 12 lands felt a little bit much to me. I get that you're playing Agadeems for grief, but I think I'd probably just play the 8 lands. And then I'm really interested in playing Deadly Dispute, because I think like Wishclaw Talisman is a little too clunky, but I think Deadly Dispute is great because you could sacrifice your artifact lands, extra copies of Mox Opal, additional creature effects. Like, it makes a lot of sense to me. So I would probably cut either the 4 basic swamps or the 4 Agadeem's Awakening for 4 Deadly Dispute, and then I would try this again. Really, really awesome idea, and I had a lot of fun, so hopefully you all enjoyed this league. I know that I will never forget the Leyline of Anticipation Song of Creation versus Orcish Bowmasters game. That one's going to be with me for a long time, but I really enjoyed myself. Hopefully you did too. Have a great day and keep storming. What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe, because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.